Hello, everyone, and welcome to my I Love Learning podcast today. You will be so delighted to know that I'm actually live with Timothy, who is in Australia, and it's Friday morning. And so in the East Coast in the US, it is Thursday evening. So hopefully it's a good Friday so far. Hello, Tim. Thanks for joining us. I want you to introduce yourself to everyone today and really tell them who you are and what you're passionate about.
G'day, Gina. How are you?
Oh, I'm awesome.
It's so good to be here. I'm really excited to tell everyone a bit about myself, and I hope our discussion is going to inspire a lot of people to become better about themselves. Okay, just to explain you a little bit about myself. Firstly, I'm an introvert. Okay, so I think about things deeply. I build relationships one by one, not group. But it doesn't mean to say that I can't stand up in a crowd and just sell an idea to 1,000 people in an audience. It might scare the crap out of me, but I can do things like that. I'm a husband to a Chinese girl, and we have 2 adult sons, and they're living independent of us. So we're empty nesters.
Oh, okay.
I'm a keen surfer, as you can see from the
Very good surfer
photo in the background. It's taught me courage and facing my fears. And so this wave that you see me, I don't consider that a big wave. So I surf waves up to 15 feet, and I tell you, I've had oh my God moments, like paddling out in a big surf, and then all of a sudden this cleanup surf happens, and then you see this massive mountain of water just coming towards you, and you go,
wow,
oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to survive this? But so it's split decision making, and it really has saved my life. So applying courage and facing fears, both personally and in business. I've been doing this since a whippersnapper. So it's a great learning device, and it really has saved my life in terms of being ambitious with my goals.
Absolutely.
I'm a CPA and a registered tax agent, and I give advice to owners of small businesses with anything tax in Australia.
Okay, not US. So you can't help us, huh?
I can. Sometimes I've got one client. He's a US resident. He's got a property in Australia, and he's asking advice on the best way for him to save his money with selling that property in the future.
Absolutely.
I'm also a mental health first aider. I'm anti-bullying, and I have big concerns for things close to my heart, which include suicide prevention and cancer prevention as well. And surprisingly, I'm a student of sequence dancing. So things like waltz, tango, foxtrot, jive. I'm in them with my wife, just learning.
One of our employees is a big dancer, so he'll love hearing that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And for someone who thought he had 2 left feet, I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad to have you on our podcast today. You do so much, and I met you through a common person that we have, that we really talked about these passions that you have and kind of your mindset. So Timothy, tell us really who has inspired you, or what inspired you to follow these passions, these many passions that you have.
Okay. Well, firstly, I'm passionate about myself reaching my full potential. Okay. How we speak to ourselves is really important. That determines our happiness and our success. Okay. So, to be happy, all we need to do is think of something good that happened, something previously. You could think about a joke. It's not like a possession, like you buy a new car, or, you buy a new seat, or something like that. Happiness is something that's within us, and we can immediately, at least I believe, you can just think of something happy, think of a joke, and that can just change your mindset straight away. So, I want to believe that we can be the best version of ourselves, and we can do that through our dreams and through visualizing a better future, and then applying a practical way of making that happen. Okay. Getting back to your question, what inspired me? Well, when I was 6 years old, I was hit by a car. I crossed a pedestrian crossing. The first 2 lanes of traffic stopped, and I walked into the 3rd lane, and the driver never saw me. He hit me full impact. I was thrown 10 meters forward. I was in a coma for 10 days.
Wow.
And I woke up from that coma, but with no memory of my past. So you could just imagine the trauma of my parents going, "Hi,
Wow.
Tim, it's Mum," and I guess I'm saying, "Who are you?" And so
Mhm.
I had to relearn everything. And so, later on in life, I look back at that thinking that, hey, look, my life should have ended at 6 years old, but I was given a
Wow.
second chance. And I look at my life as a life of second chances. If you're given a second chance at life,
Ooh.
what would you do differently? How would
Mhm.
you react? And so, look, I keep making these deals with God to say, hey, can you give me more time? I want to make a
Yeah.
difference. And
Oh,
just funnily enough,
yeah.
I've got this guy on LinkedIn. He's the funniest guy. His name is Chuan No. I was
Okay.
telling him about this experience, and then he gave me the acronym MAD,
Uh-huh.
MAD, okay? And he
Okay.
said
Uh-huh.
that means making a difference. And so,
Oh, I love that.
yeah. Uh, So I'm wearing that. I've got to put it on my update my LinkedIn profile. Another acronym that I gave to myself actually was Chief Nappy Changer. So
Uh-huh.
so when my two boys were babies,
Uh-huh.
my wife said you are going to be the changer of nappies when you're at home. So I just went,
Oh,
okay. And it was like a dare from my friend Veronica.
yeah.
She called herself chief mum officer, and so I said, well,
Oh,
I'm the chief nappy changer. So that's on my LinkedIn profile.
I like that.
And I get people that when they view it, they go, hey, I like that chief nappy changer. What does it really mean? And it just means also that, hey, I'm one to get in there, dig down, and do anything. Like, I'm not,
Oh, I
if
love
it's,
that.
from a training point of view,
Mhm.
if I need, if one of my jobs previously was working in a 24-hour convenience store, and so I had to teach people how to clean toilets, and so
Yeah,
you know
of
I'll
course.
I'll just do anything to get a point across. And so no one can ever come to me and say, hey, you never do this. And so, but I say, no, I do. So, because I'll train you with that. So uh, you know to be a leader, you've got to share all of your secrets. Okay, so
Yes.
impart your knowledge, give them everything so that they've
Mm.
got everything to be successful, and then at the same time lead by example, and you will gain the respect of everyone.
Oh, I really like that. The one thing you went through such a traumatic experience, obviously near death experience, and this idea. And I know that you're really passionate about helping people who are going through these experiences. What do you think in terms of the most powerful learning experience you've had? Because certainly coming out from that at a young age had an impact on you. But can you think about maybe something that in your life that was the most powerful learning experience that helped you come to this realization?
Sure. Well, the first 15 years of my life, I left high school, and I was desperately saving a deposit for an apartment. And
Okay.
I was all set to become a primary school teacher at university, but I landed
Mhm.
this job over Christmas that was the money was just too good to refuse. And so I worked full time with that job. I studied part time, had two other part time jobs, and just saving relentlessly for this deposit for a property. But I'd
Mhm.
worked 15 years in various industries, in warehousing, in
Wow.
convenience
Mhm.
store management. As I said, I was also an import manager, so done a lot of things. And uh, what what happened was that I could get a middle management position, but I could not get a
Mm.
senior management position. And the only
Mm.
way that I could see I could do that was through further education. And so, at the time I was a full-time taxi driver, driving, five.
Taxi? You drove a
Yeah,
taxi?
yeah, I
Wow.
did. I've been a taxi driver for 20 years.
I bet you could write a book about that.
I could, you know
Mhm.
what, yeah, maybe a book about, the secrets of what happens in a taxi.
Yeah,
It's just crazy. But anyway, at the time I was driving full time, 5 or 6 12-hour shifts every week, and the heat and the job was just killing me. So
Mm.
I was so then I looked towards education. So in a nutshell, I did 2 years full time completing a business diploma, and that gave me a stepping stone into advanced standing at the University of Technology to do a business degree.
Wow.
And so to answer your question, my most powerful learning was that I dreamed of a university education.
Wow.
I actually the dream came from actually
Wow.
watching a graduation ceremony of one of our friends' daughters. And in that ceremony, I just caught up with, the cap, the gown,
Yes.
the formal process of it all. And I just said to myself, one day I'm going to be
Wow.
one of those people standing on stage getting my degree. And so
I think you're
so
back.
at home, I would every night visualize. So dreaming is one thing. You've got to apply the energy and the practical application. So how do I do that? Manage my time, because I had days of study and then drove my taxi, for the other 3 days. So study Monday to Thursday and then taxi Friday to Sunday. So I had to do all of my readings on those 4 days, because after driving it. So how do I do that? I arrange my life to go to every lecture, attend do my homework, do my readings, make time for group study assignments, and sit those exams. And in a nutshell, do that over 3 years, and hey, I got my degree. It's just insane. I am sitting in a room with the top 15% of students. Okay.
Wow.
And here I am, just a school leaver going, look, I earned my spot to get in there. And so, and I listened to them, during law lectures and that sort of thing, looking at these young kids with no experience, to go, how do you come up with that? What's going on in your head? And so, people are naturally smart, but hey, I had 15 years of work experience that I could just ramble off in management, marketing, all those subjects with real life examples, which was advantageous to me. So, and it's just like, hey, look, I'm here. Let's just give it your best shot. So it was just dreaming, and it was just dreaming and driving, driving that self-belief that I could do it.
Right.
So yeah, it was just, I look back and I go, how the hell did I do that? And it was just
Well,
like,
you know what? We talk about this in learning. Your mind is so powerful, right? And like what you demonstrated and what you didn't even know was part of learning science. The mind
yeah,
is so powerful. If you visualize something, I visualize something, you can make it a reality with that hard grit and everything that you went through. It wasn't easy. You had a family. You had this, all these barriers, and you made it through. You made it through. You're just so inspiring. And I think
I did.
everyone should look at you and think that. So I wonder really what in your learning journey has really made you who you are today, that inspiration. There's so many people on LinkedIn that just really resonate with your story.
Look, I think with LinkedIn, like, I've got a couple of thousand followers, and
Yeah.
I think on that platform, like, a lot of people are saying, hey, look how good I am, and that sort of thing. Look, I'm an
Yeah.
introvert.
Yeah.
I'm not seeking attention, but I
Right.
will tell you things. My favorite two subjects on LinkedIn is cultural differences amongst people. So I'm married to a Chinese girl, so
Yes, absolutely.
I'll use some Australian slang here. I'll take the piss out of myself,
Yeah.
laughing about, difference between, Chinese customs and, and Australian customs.
Yeah.
And I love talking about business culture, how
Got
things are
it.
done in business. So,
Yes.
so two cultural approaches.
Got it. Awesome.
Look, one thing,
So go ahead.
if I might just, I wanted to make a plug with our good friend Ambreen Nadine. Okay,
Aww.
she's got this book called The Algorithm of Life.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. It's a
took
great book,
her,
isn't it?
yeah, it
Yeah.
took her 20 years to write this book,
20
and
years.
20 years to write this book, and as I'm reading it, I'm going, oh my God, I've done this. This has happened. It actually explained my dreaming, my practical process of putting it into action and making it work. So I felt like she is the master apprentice because she's written this wonderful book,
Yes.
and I am her little.
No, well,
I am
here's
her.
the thing. You're going out
I'm
and
her little.
sharing your
I'm
story.
her little trainee going, I did this, this. And my experience was 25 years ago. So it's just uncanny that, I'm just so grateful that she wrote the book, because it just set in my mind that what I did, okay, without she explains the science. And so,
Right.
but what I did was I just said, I can do this. If I can visualize myself doing this sort of stuff and put practical applications in there and make it work, put enough energy and do whatever it can, sacrifice your time to just get that done. Okay. That's it.
Yes.
And I'm just so grateful for that book. It's one of my favorite books.
Oh, I agree with you. I read it too. It's definitely grounded in psychology and learning science in the mind.
Mm.
And, you think about this and you talk about it being like deep inside and kind of like this grit. But what do you think, like authenticity? I do a lot of research on authenticity. What does that mean? What is that word, or what does that look like in your learning journey? I mean, it sounds like that book really touched your heart and really spoke to you. So, what do you think that means to you?
I think you've got to put your heart and soul with what you want to do. So if you enroll in a course, or even an apprenticeship, give it 100%. Give yourself the best chance of succeeding. Okay, so that
Mhm.
means planning. That means researching. That means a lot of reading. That means asking people a lot of questions. Okay, I have this theory when I joined my employer, and I said I want the ability of being able to ask a dumb question. And he looked at me and he said,
There's no
"What
dumb
does that
questions.
what does that mean?" I said, you might think I'm going to ask you every now and then a question that you think that I know the answer to. And so rather than make the wrong decision, I want to make the right decision. So every
Mhm.
now and then I'm going to ask you a dumb question. So, and as an example, here is a dumb question. And then the response is, but Tim, you should know that question. I said, yeah, I know you know. That's why I'm saying this is a dumb question that I'm asking you. I said,
Uh-huh.
so I know the answer is, A, B, and C, but I'm worried about the D. Now, with the D, it could be this or it could be this. So based on the understanding with the question, what's your answer to that? And I'll wait for a response. And then he gives me the answer. And then I say, so then that means E, F, and G. And he said, yeah, that's right. And I'm going, see, it's not
Uh-huh.
such a dumb question, is it? So,
No.
so don't be afraid to ask what you think is a dumb question if you
Oh.
want to get things right. Suck in a bit of pride, okay,
Mhm.
and get the answer so that you're confident with what you want to do.
That's a great message. Never be afraid to ask, right? And I
That's
think
right.
that kind of leads to this idea of if someone has overcome a hurdle, like you have to overcome hurdles. You've overcome one of the greatest hurdles, and I think how do you help someone, or how have you overcome hurdles in your learning journey or your career to get where you're at, or how do you help someone overcome those hurdles?
Okay, well, what people really don't, what I haven't advertised is that before I did the CPA program, I did the Institute of Chartered Accountants program. So within
Mhm.
Australia, we have two accounting professional organisations. One is, as I said, the Institute of Chartered Accountants, and the other one is CPA Australia. So
Okay.
working for a chartered accounting business, I
Mhm.
started off doing the Chartered Accountants program. Now, I passed the tax module, but I failed multiple times
Mm.
those
Mhm.
other modules, and that was over 3 years. So, can you
Okay.
imagine, you know,
Wow. No,
doing
it's
doing
hard.
three subjects a year, fail,
Mhm.
fail, fail, and
Wow.
like not just you could miss out by just 1.5 points, and bang,
Wow.
fail. You have to do it all over again.
Jeez.
So what happened was our managing director, he dragged me aside and he said, Tim, I know you put your heart and soul in this chartered accounting program, but I have some
Yeah.
advice for you. You may or may not like it. So the advice is this: just drop the chartered accountants program and switch over and do the CPA program. It's I know you'll do well. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and I know you want to be successful. They're two of the same. There's nothing that a CA can't do that a CPA can do. So
Uh-huh.
just switch over and give it a shot. And so I just went, you know what, he's right. And so I switched
Yeah.
over, and then with two and
Uh-huh.
a half years, I just went bang, 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 bang.
Wow.
I'm a CP, I'm an accredited
Wow.
CPA. So
Yes.
my message to everyone is, if you're
Yes.
failing at something, find a side entrance, find some other way,
Yes.
some other pathway. Don't give
Yes.
up. Just keep trying. Just find another way. Believe in yourself that you're good enough to try. And so I'm just saying, it's just like taxi driving.
Yes.
You're given a destination. There might be a roadblock with one way. So I'm thinking four
Great
different ways of
analogy.
getting from point A to point B. And in life, find those alternative paths. Don't ever you might give up, but if you give up, find another way. Okay. Because, and it might be a longer pathway. It might be a different pathway that you didn't expect, but you are still moving forward. So find that way, move
Find
forward
it.
so that you can achieve your dreams.
Yes, great message. I'm going to quote you on that. Definitely find another way because
Look,
look, I
and
mean, it's just as good, right? I mean, it still builds your happiness and
that's it.
people will say to me, "Okay, they hear that message, but you know what, Gina, Tim, I've lost my passion. I've lost my passion to learn." And so when someone would say that to you, what recommendations or what would you recommend to them if someone came to you and said, "Look, I've tried 6 different paths and all the doors are closed." What do you do to get that happiness that you started this conversation with?
I would say just believe in yourself. Think of something that you were successful about in your past, okay, and try another avenue, okay. It's really important that you like yourself, okay, that you love yourself, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that you forgive yourself for failing every now and then. Essentially, believe that everyone has a kind heart and they're a good person. So please believe in yourself. If I could just say,
Yeah.
like, I'm in my mid-50s, and if I had the chance to say something to my younger self, it is that
Oh,
you are far more clever than you ever give yourself credit for. Okay. So take risks. Okay. Take measured, and don't be stupid with your risks. Take measured risks. Okay. Be prepared to fail, but also be prepared to be successful. Okay. And just
oh,
just give it your best shot. Okay. And you don't have to tell anyone. Okay. You can just
no.
keep it to yourself,
All
because if
right.
you tell people,
Mm-hmm.
look, people are jealous out there. They might go, oh, you can't do that. You're
Yeah.
not good enough, and that sort of thing. So if you take that advice, you might talk yourself out of it. So be single-minded about your approach. Okay. Believe in yourself. Okay. That you can be a better person. We have one life. Okay. And you
Oh,
look at all of these statistics, people dying left, right, and center. I'm still here. Like, I should have been dead at 6 years
I'm
age.
so glad
Okay.
you're here.
I'm I am, and so, hopefully, my mantra is be kind and make a difference. And so with my time here on earth, I'm trying to make that difference. And so
Yes.
if I can inspire anyone out there, okay,
Mm-hmm.
to really give it your best shot, to actually believe in yourself, and to really go absolutely as high as you can
Do
visualize
it.
yourself going,
Yes.
and then just do it. Just be single-minded about yourself, and that self-talk that self-talk that you talk about, that little person inside.
Oh,
in Amber,
yes.
in Ambrine's in Ambrine's book, she talks about our soul, okay,
Yes.
and to me, that soul is that little voice inside your health to go, you can either do this, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. So if for reading about our soul, just read that. Please read again that chapter
Yeah.
on our soul, because that's central to our happiness and our success.
Yes, our souls. I love that. So let's
Mm.
talk a little bit. We're going to be kind of winding it down, but I want you to tell everyone about your book. So what
Oh,
Timothy
okay.
hasn't told you, he's not only a surfer, like an all-star surfer and an inspire, he is an author. So tell us about your book and where we can find it
Okay.
and where we can connect with you.
Okay, well,
It
it
just
just
came.
arrived.
I want.
It just arrived. It
Oh,
just arrived in the post this
I
morning.
love
Okay,
it.
um, okay.
Yes.
It's a note to you, my family. And
Yes.
so basically, what this is it's an anthology of 21 authors,
Mhm.
whereby um, we're given a statement. How are you going? How will they remember you after you die?
Oh,
So
I'm gonna
basically,
cry. I'm gonna read your book, and it's gonna
20
make me cry. Is it?
So 21 authors across the world, America, Europe, South Africa.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm here in Australia. Okay,
I like
I'm the
that.
only
Hmm.
I'm the only author down under. So it was an opportunity for me to write, a message about my values,
Yeah.
and what's inside my heart in a note to my two boys. And
Oh,
so just what an amazing
that's
what an
awesome.
amazing opportunity. So
Yes.
I haven't read all of the stories, but there is these amazing bunch of people across the world
Uh,
that poured out their vulnerability,
yes.
poured out their hearts,
Uh-huh.
and put these notes into this anthology book. I'm just so proud of everyone.
Yes.
It's
I
It
love
says
it. I'll
international
link it. We'll put it
bestseller,
in. We'll put it in
and I just go,
LinkedIn. We'll link it in so people can
okay,
find your book. And
yeah.
thank you for sharing your story. If there's anything else you want to share today, what would you like to share?
I would say there is power in forgiveness. Okay, so uh, don't hold grudges. If you forgive yourself, you're able to let go of that hurt, let go of the past to move forward. And even in the absence of an apology from someone that did hurt you, you actually gain the power back that you gave away. So don't hold on to grudges. Forgive, let it go, and so you can be happy to move forward
Excellent
and believe.
advice.
And the other thing,
Yeah.
and to believe in yourself. Seriously, you can. You'd be amazed how far you can uh, be successful by pushing yourself, by visualizing your dreams.
Yeah, I love ending on that note. Thank you so much for being with us and for spending your Friday morning with us and sharing your story. If people want to connect with you, how can they find you?
Oh, just find me on LinkedIn. Look, I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, but most of my communications are on LinkedIn. So, and hey, look, if you do go on LinkedIn, share your heart,
Yeah,
be honest about, what you think. Comment on people's posts that inspire you, and link with people that actually inspire you. You would be amazed at the connections that you make across the world.
exactly. Here we are. All right, send us off on an what would it how would you give a send off in Australia? Anything?
Or just, anything. Be yourself. Okay. Find out who you are. Okay. Be happy with that, and continually improve yourself, and be happy within yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Dr. Gina, so much. Thank you for your time. I really enjoyed